Even though we got a really nice desk over there, I've learned desks are more for storage than actually working. For anyone who doesn't have an outside desk, here's how you do it. We buy these 8-foot pieces, which of course wood when you buy it, if you don't know if it says 8 foot or 2x4, it's never actually that dimension. They're always off. And that's just an industry standard. To find the center, because this ruler is 48 inches, simply line it up at the end with your finger, draw a line, which you can see, hopefully I've done right there. Draw your first line, and you slide it down to the other end, and then you draw your second line, which I've already done, and right in between here will be the center of the board. Now if this was off by a lot, then obviously you could measure from each side with a tape measure, the total divide by 2, but this right here tells me that right in the center is where I want to cut for equal height. You can see the boards are now lined up. See, you're kind of right here. That's all right, just means it's not completely straight. Alrighty, we're gonna use our Japanese saw. Many of them on Amazon. This is just the one I bought. Don't care what brand you buy, but I like how they're small cuts, very thin. I'm gonna clamp and get right in the center. I'm gonna hide my thumb, and I'm just gonna start like that, right? The reason I started here is so that it would stick. There we go. This is if you did not have a clamp, so what we're going to do is we're going to separate them. You can see I was binding up, and now we're just going to carefully get the blade in there. There we go. Get the next one up. Now what's nice is we already got our line. Get in there. You don't want to push down too much if you don't have a clamp, because you can see it's pinching hopefully. And I'll pinch and bind the blade. 4 equal pieces. All the way to there, nice and equal. Is a redwood lattice, very cheap. They are very rough, you can get splinters, so be very careful. And what we're going to do is I want to mark those off right now, 5 of them. So what I've done is I've marked out the first 30-inch one, take my speed square, line it up, and mark it. So now we're going to cut right there, and then what we're going to do is this guy will be the one that I measure for the rest. Now before we cut, we're just going to again throw it in here. Bam, you can see right there. I marked it right in the middle, so I want to cut right down that line. One way to cut these, and I'm not an expert, you probably can't see, is you put this here, and then when you look in the reflection, and if you look in the reflection, you can kind of see whether you're angled. Now something this thin, it won't really matter, but it is a good trick to know for a thicker. I'm not the best at this, and it just takes practice. You can even try to line it up here, kind of like I'm doing right there. And we're just gonna go really slow and cut. So now this one stick, a measuring stick to measure the other 4. So I'll just put it at the end, clamp with my hand, move it down, and mark. Now on this one, what's important is I want to cut on this side of the line right here. So this is where I want to cut on bias this side, so it's the exact same length. So when I mark it, you can see right there, pencil can't always get in that crevice. Again, this doesn't need to be precision. Get it lined up, as level as we can, and cut. Now, this is the trick. Don't use the one you just cut. Keep using the original one. Now this will be a 2-sided trellis, so I want to double that, so I'll need 10 total. As the first one, this is going to be the top. Nothing's done yet. We're going to take our speed square and going to line it up. All right, about there, nice and flush. Just putting my fingers on the edges, and we're gonna put it in. Ho, ho, ho. All right, so now I didn't glue that, and I only put one staple, and that's simply because that's gonna help me keep this square. We'll go back to that at the very end. Now these are the staples we're using. Alright, you can see here we got a 2-inch 2-pack hinge. You could get a 90-degree, 45-degree, or whatever you needed angle bracket or metal L like that you can buy at the hardware store with screw holes. You could use that if these are gonna never have to fold up to store, because those are a lot cheaper, where these are a couple bucks. Alrighty, now I did make a mistake last time, and what I did is I put this, separate that, a little easier for you guys to see. Basically, I put this here, like that, which obviously means it's not centered. So that right there is not good. You kind of want something more like that, and then now this will be centered. Now, make sure you don't put it like this. You can see here, it won't close all the way. Show you guys what happens if you don't pre-drill your holes versus pre-drilling. You can see when I pre-drilled them, they went in easier. We'll just tighten these up as much as they could go. Go ahead and pick it up. Fold it over. There you go. There you go. Nice A frame trellis. Pretty much built this maybe in a half an hour of actual work. And you can see the top now is nice and even compared to my old ones where it's off. You can see the second trellis there is fully filled out. And we have lots of medium and little size guys. Very cool in there.